Okay, I want to welcome everyone. This is Brian Sachs. Can everybody just type in the box that you can hear me? I want to make sure everybody can see the screen and everybody is able to hear me okay. So I see some of you can see the screen, but apparently there's no again. Okay, everybody can hear me. Everybody can see me. Beautiful. So if I sound like I'm in the mafia, I'm just getting over a little bit of a cold, so I have a little bit of laryngitis. But I want to welcome all of you here. I'm so thrilled that you're able to be part of this, and I truly appreciate your time. What I'm going to share with you is really a secret that changed my life and changed my business, and it's going to do the same for you too if you're serious about growing your business and not needing to go around chasing business or just hoping that realtors are going to be loyal and continue using you or even give you a try. You know, the worst thing you could be is one of the three cards that a realtor is giving out. So that's not something you ever want to be a part of. And I got to tell you, just saying it makes me cringe. So I'm going to give you the secret method that produces a consistent flow of new buyers. And more importantly, these buyers are already sold on using you before they even speak to you. That in and of itself is a dream. Finally, have realtors chasing you without begging, chasing, or paying those ridiculous marketing fees. So some of you can hear me, some of you can't. I'm not sure why, but you may want to check the sound on your own computers because apparently most of you are able to hear. So, one more time, are you able to see and hear me? Just type yes or no. Okay. Excuse me. I'm going to show you this formula. And this little formula will immediately be able to increase your production and get realtors chasing you. So here's the formula. I'm going to give it to you right up front. TM plus OPEC plus ASM plus SRFU equals CFNB plus RR, which is going to equal money. And I don't mean this to sound cryptic. You really will break down and learn every single piece of this very, very soon. So you're going to know exactly what each piece of this means, and you're going to want to grab notes. So one of the things we got to do before we even start is just make sure you're in the right place, and that we're not wasting your time. So this training is completely sold out, and more of you are joining, and I see you're joining from all around the country. And honestly, nothing could make me happier. I'm absolutely thrilled that all of you are here. So you're in the right place if you know that refinances are going to end and you need purchase business, but you're just not sure how to get it. You just can't bring yourself to go chasing realtors and kissing butt. And you don't find many of them that are loyal to you anyway. Does that resonate with any of you? I mean, that really is, that's the issue. So you're in the right place. If you want a consistent way to produce new loans, but you just can't find one that works, look, I got to tell you, there are so many gurus that are pretend gurus that either have never originated or originated a dozen years ago. I mean, really, I invest in trainings as well. And there's just so much crap out there. It's unbelievable. So, what I'm going to share with you is what I use every single day in my own business. You dream of having agents chase you, but you didn't think you really could. You thought it was just a dream. And I'm going to share with you how to do that. You know, many of you were kind enough to go ahead and respond to some of the questions. I wanted to make sure I prepared this training for you so that all of you, my peers, knew exactly that your issues were being addressed and that you were being heard. And here's some of the responses. What is your biggest challenge when it comes to generating realtor business? Not getting them to give me a chance, even though I just worked with them as a listing agent. Consideration of me as opposed to old tried and true MLO, getting in the door, having a problem meeting realtors. I mean, lots of time spent with no referrals. It goes on and on and on, folks, right? Um, Not getting them to give you even a chance. Um, you know, Getting that first opportunity, motivation, starting to get realtors to refer you, maintaining business. Here's one I can truly relate to. Excuse me. A 30 plus year mortgage industry veteran just getting back on the street and, not really being able to build that business. Business after the first meeting, connecting with the right realtors, scripts. I'm going to deal with all of these issues and then some throughout this training. So make sure you pay attention. And here's really how I created everything and just wanted to make sure that I found a way. I was so frustrated. I was the best rate sheet hander outer and donut giver outer there was. But I wanted to find a way because I was really just tired. I hated begging. I hated going to lunches. And guess what? The agents don't want to be at lunch any more than you want to be at lunch. I didn't want to pay expensive extortion marketing fees. I didn't want to wonder where my next deal was going to come from or go to offices and get turned away. All of that really, really stinks. And so, what's the difference between these two people? This person is like many of us. They're hoping. Well, guess what, folks? Hope is not a strategy. Hope doesn't work. Doesn't mean you shouldn't think positively, but let's be honest, you can hope all you want. And if you don't have an action plan, you're in big trouble. Type yes if you agree with that, if that makes sense. So I want to give you a promise. And I'm going to give you a promise that I'm sure you've probably never, ever heard anyone give you before. See, the one thing you're not able to, so thank you all for responding. The one thing that you are never, ever going to be able to replace is the hour that we're about to spend together. Okay? So if you stay on this webinar, this training, and you don't learn one big idea, that means I've wasted your time. And I want you to immediately send me an email. It's Brian, Brian, at loanofficertips.com. Brian at loanofficertips.com. And I will personally send a check in your name to the charity of your choice. Now, I know I've given you some tall promises, but I'm putting my money where my mouth is right up front. So type in the box if we have a deal and we're going to get cranking. Okay? Do we have a deal? Is that fair? I've never, ever seen anybody guarantee a free training. But hey, time is important. My time's important, and I respect your time. So we got a deal. We got everybody saying we're a deal. Perfect. So let's move forward. Okay? I want you to think for a second what your day would be like if you no longer had to wake up and figure out where your next deal was going to come from. And think about it. I put a picture here of the caveman because that's what we're like. We're hunter-gatherers, and every morning we wake up and we wonder where is our next deal going to come from. But what would your life be like? What would your wallet be like? What would your family be like? Okay? What would it all be like if you were able to know exactly where your money is coming from? And by the way, some of you may need to unmute your speakers. The sound here is working fine for everyone. So stay with me. I'm going to give you all some special scripts, some special bonuses at the end, and make sure you stay on this training. If you haven't grabbed the handout, you want to go to rentersintoloans.com/handout right now so that you can download this and take notes, because I'm going to roll through this I promised you our training was going to be about an hour, and I'm going to do my best to keep that promise. So here's what you're going to discover. You're going to discover the secret formula for getting realtors chasing you because you have the one thing they all want. Okay. And this is the formulaic way. This is not guesswork. It's not hoping. It's what I use every day. And I've been originating for 31 years. So this will give you the predictability. How to have a steady stream of new buyers each and every month. And this is really important, folks. What if you could get them sold on using you before you even speak to them? I mean, think about it. You're out on a Saturday night, you're with your family in the evening, you're just relaxing on a Sunday. What if you didn't have to speak to these buyers and convince them to use you? What if there was a system that could do it for you? Type in the box what that would mean for you. What would that mean? What would that be like? How would that impact your life? Think about that. It made all the difference in the world for me, and I'm sure it would do the same for you. Really, really important. Okay? So, time with your family, says Krista. Freedom, awesome. More money. It's all of these things. Huge, says Amy. Less stress. Exactly. It would be an awesome feeling. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. And I know it works because it's the way I use it. And let's be honest, we as an industry all suck at follow up. We do. We get really busy, we don't follow up, but all the money is really in the follow up. So, what if we were able to automate that follow up and take it off our plate? I'm going to show you that too. Okay? So, not all realtors are the same. I'm going to share with you. You know, people are telling you, Mike says something funny, make mortgages great again. I love it. So, not all realtors are the same. I'm going to tell you which ones to go after, which ones to avoid like the plague. And I'm going to give you an actual script. This is a benefit for being here live, an actual script that guarantees an appointment and how to finally make those realtors loyal. Now, I want you to turn off all your distractions. I know you need to be plugged in. Turn off your phone, turn off your Facebook, close your door, grab the handout, and start learning. Because I'm going to tell you, if you feel you can't distract close these distractions, well, you need this training more than anybody. So make sure you get rid of all those distractions. I'm going to give you a lesson before we start. Okay. Um, I want you to, before you even listen to anyone, the handout is at rentersintoloans.com/handout. Rentersintoloans.com/handout. So I want you to ask yourself who you should even listen to, right? Because why would you listen to someone who isn't doing what you do? There's so many pretend experts out there, and we don't have the time or the money to deal with them, right? So, you'll excuse me for a second. I'm going to take a sip of water. So, here's some criteria, and I want you to hold me to this criteria. Has this person accomplished what I want to accomplish? Are they earning what I want to earn? Do they do it or do they teach it? And do they guarantee it? Well, heck, I just guaranteed a free training for you. The ultimate shortcut is find someone who is doing it successfully and copy it. It's really that simple. So, who am I? I have been on ABC, NBC, CBS. I write for NMP, Campus MBA, Mortgage Executive Magazine, spoken all around the country. I don't tell you that to brag. I just tell you that because I've set up some criteria and I want to make sure you understand it. So, my story, I'm going to give it to you very briefly. But, I grew up kind of lower middle class, started working at 14. I barely graduated high school, no college. At age 20, I became a realtor, and then I got into mortgage banking. And what changed my life was something called direct response marketing. And I learned many of these things by being a partner with one of the world's really smartest marketers, a gentleman named Dan Kennedy. Any of you ever hear of Dan Kennedy? He's someone you should all check out. And I took Dan Kennedy's ideas and tactics and applied them to our industry. And I went from a struggling loan officer handing out rate sheets and begging for business and doing donuts and co-marketing to really being one of the top originators and making a lot of money and having a very, very happy life, and then training other originators around the country. Many of you may remember Loan Officer Success, which was a business I had that trained literally over 138,000 loan officers around the country. Now, I'm not telling you any of this to brag because there's a PS to the story. By the way, were any of you members of Loan Officer Success? So I see in the chat box, many of you were. You were familiar with it. So, I'm not telling you any of this to brag. I just realized very quickly that to be successful, it couldn't be about price. I spent half my 31 years as a loan officer really frustrated. But I left the business in 2008. I sold Loan Officer Success. I shut down my mortgage business, and I thought I was going to go off into the wild blue yonder. And I'm telling you this for a reason, because here's what happened to my life part two. That information business I sold went bankrupt. A partnership I was in wound up in court. And I came back to this industry 4 years ago, and I had to invent myself very, very quickly with no money and no technical knowledge. Can any of you relate to that? So I came back to an industry, most of my agents were dead. So I absolutely 100% had to start over. And I had to figure this out. What do you do, right, if you have no money and no time to waste? Any of you relate to that? Some of you can totally relate to that, okay? Whether you're new or you were just doing refis, guess what? The industry's changed, right? You got to do something totally different. And here's the problem, folks. If you think you're going to be successful because you have good service, you're mistaken. If you think you're going to be successful because you have the best price, you're 100% wrong. See, here's the problem. I call the problem the head of lettuce syndrome. See, here's one head of lettuce, and let's say it's 39 cents. And here's another head of lettuce right here, and let's say it's 49 cents, right? Well, which head of lettuce are you going to choose if you're a realtor? See, the problem is we all look the same. Just giving good service and just doing a good job, well, that just allows you to even have a conversation to begin with. That's not a separating statement anymore, okay? So write this down right now. There are two big secrets. You must control the buyer. Whoever controls the buyer controls their income and controls the relationship. Think about it. When the realtor controls the buyer, they control the title company, they control the mortgage company, they control the pest company, they control the home inspector, okay? And once you have buyers pre-approved, you then can control the agents. Does that make sense? Everybody with me? Okay. I know that may sound like a big duh, right? But has anybody ever said that to you before? No. No one has ever told you that before. And because they haven't told you that before, here's what they are telling you. Well, go ahead and sponsor open houses and go do spreadsheets. Do joint advertising on Zillow and Trulia. Any of you doing that? Talk about painful. You become like a credit running machine, right? You got to be attached to your computer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Anybody doing that? I'm sure some of you are. How about providing single address websites, doing broker teaching sessions, visiting open houses on the weekends? God, I mean, honestly, who wants to go visit open houses on a weekend? I mean, that sucks. I'd rather be with my family. I'd rather be enjoying myself. Okay. How about doing pay per click and social media? How about forking over a couple grand a month for a desk or a rental fee or a co-marketing agreement? Let me have a big in the chat box. That sucks. All of us together. That sucks. It really does. There's no nice way to say it. It absolutely sucks. But that's what's being taught to you. And what was being taught to me. And I knew there had to be a better way. Okay? So think about it. Realtors want, thank you all, by the way. I see what's going on in the chat box. There's 100 people saying that sucks. So it does. So there's a better way. Realtors want one thing and they want one thing only. They want to sell more homes. And you want one thing and you want one thing only. You want to close more loans. So having good rates is expected. Having good service is expected, folks. So you and I, this is the big aha, must control the buyer. And it's not your fault, so stop blaming yourself. Many of you may be familiar with Jim Rohn. Again, I told you I spent 15 years not knowing what the hell I was doing and doing everything wrong. I happen to be a good beggar. I happen to be a good donut hander outer. I happen to do a good job on a loan, but I was begging. And so if you want to be successful, look around at what everyone else is doing and do the complete opposite. Is this not what everyone else is teaching you to do? Give me a yes or a no. Maybe you know something I don't. But this is what everybody's showing you. And I'm going to show you the complete opposite of this. And that's why it works. Because I looked around, I saw what everybody was telling me, and that's why we all look like a head of lettuce, folks. Give me an amen. Okay? That's the aha. I want you to write this down. Everyone is teaching you how to chase business, but you need to be able to completely change that and get people, agents, and buyers chasing you. So as long as we all know that, I'm going to give you one more counterintuitive, okay? Everyone is showing you just by a show of in the chat box, and I really appreciate everybody's involvement. It really helps me know that we're all on the same page. Is anyone in here being told or actually doing online or social media advertising? Yes, no, maybe so. Anybody? So, I mean, I do some, to be fair. Anybody else? Mike, Benny, Deanne? Okay, Terry, Dan, Jay, Mike, Jeffrey, Jeff, Benny. Oh my God, there's hundreds of you. So some of you, most of you are, okay, but some of you aren't. Some of you are thinking about it. Some of you did it and it didn't work. I'm not against social media and I'm not against online advertising, but look at something really, really interesting, okay? The two largest companies in the world, okay, in the world, Google and Facebook, sent me direct mail to get me to advertise. Think about that. Let that sink into your brain for a minute. While everybody is going online, it's getting more and more expensive, yet almost no one is mailing. Is your mailbox fuller or more empty? It's not as full, right? Fewer and fewer are mailing. And because they're not mailing, right? Because they're not mailing, guess what? Your mail has a better chance of getting noticed. Everybody is online now. Everybody's on Facebook. Everybody's on LinkedIn. Everybody's on Google. Okay. So remember what Jim Rohn said. Look around at what everyone else is doing if you want to be successful and do the complete opposite. So we're going to get ready to rock and roll here. So grab your pen. So look, I'm going to give you another lesson before we get going. Okay. Anybody can tell you anything. When you tell someone how wonderful you are, I have bad news for you. No one believes you. But, and you want to write this down, no one believes anything you say about yourself. And nobody believes anything I'm saying about myself. But they do believe what others like them say about you. So here's Steve Ramos. He's one of our members in Georgia. Brian, I really enjoyed your Renters into Loans program. He's now taking his business from 2 to 3 to over 5 buyers, from 2 to 300 a month to over 700 a month. That's pretty big. Okay. So I'm going to tell you direct mail does work, but who in here has tried direct mail and didn't get it to work? Anyone tried direct mail? So there's 3 reasons why, if you've tried direct mail, it doesn't work. Okay. So a lot of you have tried it. Okay, never works. It sucks. Okay. No, no, no. So some of you it actually did work for. Let me tell you, if it didn't work for you, why it didn't work. There's 3 reasons. Number one, you sent it to the wrong people. Number two, you sent it only one time. Number three, it had the wrong call to action. So I'm going to break this all down for you. Okay. You have to send direct mail to the right people. It has to be very, very, very targeted. You can't just send a mass mailing to anybody. Okay. And it amazes me why someone would send direct mail and waste your money if it's not targeted direct mail. Number two, if you're married, I'm married 31 years. What most people do is they will send to 3,000 or 4,000 people at a time. I'm going to suggest that, well, every door, some people have tried every door. I don't like every door. That is not targeted. When you see the formula very shortly, you'll see how it gets targeted. Okay. But if you're married, you know that none of you got married on the first date, right? No one gets married on the first date. Maybe only Britney Spears. Okay. So you want to make sure if you're going to send 3,000 pieces, don't send 3,000 pieces. Send 1,000 pieces that are specifically targeted. I'm going to tell you who to target in a minute. Send it 3 different times to the same 1,000 people instead of one time to 3,000 people. And then third is you have the wrong call to action. You're asking people to call you, but consumers think we are scum of the earth. We have such a bad reputation as an industry after the meltdown, after movies like The Big Short. People don't trust us. So no one wants to call us. That's the wrong call to action. I'm going to tell you what the right one is. So there it is. That's why your direct mail doesn't work. Does that make sense to everybody? You're sending it to the wrong people. You're only sending it once. You're only going on one date. And you're asking them to call you, and nobody wants to call you. Who on here wants to call a used car salesman when you're in desperate need of a vehicle? You don't, right? This makes sense? Let me know you can hear me, and let me know this makes sense. Okay. So what do you do? This is what I'm going to break down for you. And it took me years and years of perfecting this and tens of thousands of dollars to perfect this formula right here. Right here. This is as predictable as the sun coming up tomorrow morning. Okay? So let's break it down. TM, the first part of the formula, TM, is targeted marketing. So who should you send it to? Well, figure out what your average loan amount is. Find apartment complexes that are within 5, 10, 15, or 20 miles of your office. So in Baltimore, where I am, my average loan is $250. So I'm going to send it to apartment renters. Why apartments? Because I know they're renting. I don't want to have to buy a list. This system does not require you to buy a list. you can have a database that you can mail to every single month for the rest of your career. So I'm going to send it to an apartment complex that I know rents for 13 to 1500 a month. Why? Because that's what a mortgage payment would be on a 250 house, and I know they're renting, and potentially they may not want to rent. So this is forever. So this is very targeted. Make sense? Good. So what do you send them? I'm going to send them a postcard. Folks, you can get a postcard in the mail under 50 cents. Okay. And I'm going to mail it to them once a month because I don't know when their lease is up. I don't know what their circumstance is. Um, and if you can't mail to them every month, mail to them every other month. But postcards are cheaper than any other mail, and postcards are cheaper to print. So think about it. If you could send to them every month, it's even better. So here, these are ugly, by the way. Okay. They are intentionally ugly postcards. Why? Because think about it. When you get a glossy postcard in the mail, you're easily able to identify it as trash, right? As junk mail. But these are very, very catchy. So um, we're going to send them a postcard. And I actually call this my $1,000,000 postcard because I use a certain color, I use a certain offer, and I give them certain options to respond. This postcard has literally been mailed by myself and my members millions and millions of times successfully. So we've covered the TM, which is targeted marketing. Now we're going to target OPEC, and that is opt in email capture. So we're sending them a postcard. We are not telling them to call because they don't want to call us. They don't trust us. We're sending them to a website, and there's a couple reasons for that. We want to capture their name and their email address so that we can continually market to them. And notice that there is no distraction on here. There's no rate quote. There's nothing about me. All they can do is hit this page, opt in, or leave. We're making it brain dead simple. Now, when they hit this page, what they're going to do is get a free report. That's the call to action, is to get this free report. The postcard sends them here to get the free report. And Mark, you're saying no. What does no mean? So Tim is saying this makes sense. Tom is saying yup. Okay. This is really critical. All you want them to do is opt in. They don't want to speak to you. So this is just a customer capture opt-in page. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to now send them automated sales messages. So we've gotten TM. We're doing a targeted marketing with a postcard. We're getting them to opt in, and we're going to have automated sales messages that follow up with them. Everybody making sense? This is making sense? If you've seen the if you've seen the movie Groundhog Day, isn't this what we go through every day? Okay, it's every single day. We wake up and we do the same thing over and over again. But what if this report actually was able to give your sales message to a buyer or a prospect without you having to say a word? You know why this guy's happy? Because the person on the other line has already heard his sales message and is ready to conduct business. Think about what your life would be like if you could do that. I'm going to show you exactly how. So here's the free report. I'm going to show you how to construct this free report. You want to, and you better grab a pen because we're going to move fast. Excuse me. The first thing you need to do is grab their attention. You've got to give them a targeted and focused statement. Tell them a little bit about you. Address their concerns and their objections. Okay? Proposed and desired action. Tell them what you want them to do and outline how the general process works. Okay? You want to educate them. You want to scare the crap out of them and tell them the problems they'll encounter if they go with your competition. You want to prove to them that you are the expert in their solution, and you want to give them a specific call to action. You also want to remove all risk and give them free, valuable information. That's what this does. Okay, so here's what it looks like. Who are you and why should they listen to you? The 5 mistakes to avoid when considering a mortgage. You want to give them the process, educate them on how it works, the things they need in loan application. And then remember, they don't believe you. They only will believe what others say. So make sure you have testimonials and then give them a call to action with some scarcity. Okay. So this is exactly, I'll leave this up here for a second because this is exactly how you want to structure your report. Okay. So I'm giving you the overall basis. I don't have time to get into the absolute nitty gritty, but just out of curiosity, has anybody learned one thing so far that you didn't know before? Let me know. We're about halfway through our presentation. Have you learned one thing? One thing you didn't know before. Good. So we're getting a lot of yeses. Beautiful. 100%. Yes, good stuff. Okay, well, it gets better. Okay. So here we go. We've talked about TM. We've talked about OPEC. We've talked about ASM. Now we're going to talk about where we all stink, and that is the sales robot. The problem we all have that costs us lost deals, but what if you could set it and forget it? So remember, this person you targeted who you know, yes, can be a potential client, and you've sent them to an opt-in form to get your free report. The free report has given them your entire sales conversation, and they will do one of two things. They will either call you now for a pre-qual or to ask questions, or they won't. And if they won't, most of you stop, right? Well, what I have done is with great psychology and great care and great amount of expense and testing, created an entire automated 12-month autopilot follow up. Once they opt in, they will continue to receive follow ups very psychologically. They were created with great psychological triggers in them, and they've been tested. So you now know the first half of the formula. Now, can you all imagine if you have TM plus OPEC plus ASM plus SRFU that you are going to get CFNB, which is a consistent flow of new leads? Does that make sense? Please give me a yes or no. Finally, having the ability to take control and create the business and the life that you want. I've already done all the heavy lifting here. Okay. So does the formula now start making sense? I certainly hope so. And it's a difference between hoping and actually being comfortable. That is the difference. So let's talk about the RR part. The RR is realtor relationships and partnerships. When you're able to go to a realtor and tell that realtor, hey, I have pre-approved buyers, okay? Well, the whole world changes, doesn't it? They become, all of a sudden, they become very loyal, right? All of a sudden, there's ability for them to work with you. They now have to impress you. So that's the RR, and the equals the money, okay? It's really this in a nutshell. You control the buyer, you control the partnership, you control the relationship. Give me an amen if that makes sense. So I want to share with you that not all realtors are the same. Okay? Not all realtors are the same. So here are 3 realtors. I'm going to tell you which one to avoid. I do not go after the high producer because they will discard you like a Schick razor. I do not go after the part timer or the low producer because sometimes there are agents that are financially well off and they're just like trying to kill time. They're retired or whatever the case may be. I'm looking for the mid level agent who I can give business to that will value a partnership, that will be loyal. Okay. Never, ever assume. And stay with me because I'm going to give you a script here that will absolutely rock your world. I'm sure all of you have worked with a realtor that wasn't loyal. So, how do you find them? Well, here's two sites: homelight.com, franklynmls.com, or actually talk to a title company. Find out who is a mid level producer looking to take it to the next level because they will value you. The top producer probably won't. The other low level producer, wasting your time. So, you got to write fast, folks, because I'm going to tell you this is $1 million script. Do you all know what happens when you assume? So you've all been in a situation, right, where you have given a realtor a deal and you assumed that they were going to be good to you and give it back, right? I'm sure you all have. So here you go. Here's the script. Hello, Shirley. Now you've identified Shirley as that mid-level producer. So you're going to say, "Hi, Shirley. I have an issue. I really need to speak with you. I need 5 minutes of your time." Most of the time, they'll say fine. So at the meeting, "Hello, Shirley. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me. As I mentioned to you, I only need 5 minutes of your time. And here's my problem. I have a system. I just did this with an agent in Annapolis last week, and she's already sent me 2 deals. Okay. I have a system that generates new pre approved buyers for me each month, but I don't have very many strong partners in your area of town. I identified you as a potential partner and wondered if you'd be interested in working with any of these buyers." And then shut up. Let them respond. Sometimes we all talk too much, right? So I've never had a realtor say no. So when they say yes, I say, "Well, hold on a second, Shirley, because there's some ground rules. Number one, you will never question my fees and I will never question yours. Is that okay?" And generally they'll say yes. And if we have an issue with each other, we will discuss it only with each other. Is that okay? And here's Bob Smith. He's approved. Now, don't do this unless you have used the system and actually have a pre approved buyer. Don't do this until you have that buyer. That's the power. I'm going to let Mr. Smith know that you're going to be calling him, and I surely want your next deal. How many of you have done this and not asked for the next deal? Ask for it. You're entitled. Okay. And if we find that we work well together, we can continue. If not, I hope we can maintain our friendship. Is that okay? See, I'm nailing them down. I want you to nail them down. Okay. So I'll give you a copy of this just for attending, and I'm going to give you a copy of the whole process just for attending. But how many of you, I made a promise. Please tell me if you've learned at least one thing before we move on. Have you learned one thing? Did I keep my promise? You could also tell me if you've learned 2 things, or maybe you've learned nothing. So David says, amazing. Richard, more than one. Larry, yes. Stuart, yes. Who else? Come on. Mike, yes. Kenny, yes. Mike, Jeff, Chrissy, Mike, Lisa. There's an awful lot of mics on here. Ted, Michelle, Brent. All right. So you've all learned many, many things. And you've learned things that are actionable. And you've also learned that why what you're doing isn't working. Issa says, I feel like I now have an advantage. Great. Eamon, Ted, Lewis, thank you all for the love. I appreciate it, especially since I'm hoarse. You can hear me losing my voice. Okay? So I'm glad I've kept my promise. But why did you attend? You attended because You want a consistent way to produce new loans, but you can't find the one that works, right? You dream of having agents chase you. Now you see that it really can happen. You know the refis are going away. You got to get purchase business. You're not sure how to do it. And you just can't bring yourself to paying extortion fees or chasing realtors. I get it. I mean, here's what you said. What's your biggest challenge? Consistency. What's your biggest challenge when it comes to generating new business? Exposure. Got tired and relaxed after 25 years trying to reemerge. Getting deals from my current realtor partners, getting referrals. I don't pay to play. Guess what? Can you see you don't need to? So the big question, folks, is how do you get this up and running quickly so you can start closing more, making more, having your follow up on autopilot, and really enjoying your life, right? Well, there's two ways. Option one, you can do it. I've just given you an exact template. You can do all of this yourself. I did it. It cost me tens of thousands of dollars to perfect it. Okay. Um, Mark is saying he's not sure how to get them to opt in from a postcard. The postcard, Mark, offers a free report, sends them right to the website. They go right to the website. They get the free report. The free report is the entire sales message. And then they either call you or they get followed up on automatically for a year. That's how it works. So you could do it this way, or you could take option two. I've done it, I've perfected it. And you might be saying to yourself, well, gee, Brian, why would you share this with us? Well, honestly, I can handle 15 to 20 loans in Baltimore. I'm good, okay? And there are some of you on here from Baltimore. If there are 500 loans being done in Baltimore in a month or 200 loans, I need 15 to 20. I'm good, okay? I already have my relationships in place. I'm already mailing to my apartments. That's a scarcity mindset. So you don't want to think about things that way. This works everywhere in the country, literally everywhere. Okay. So, what if you could have a template that literally is copy and paste where all work's done for you? You know, the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again and thinking something's going to change or hoping things are going to change. You know, hope is not a strategy. We've covered that, right? So, I am so thrilled to offer you and introduce to you literally a program that will change your career. Okay. It literally will change your career. It's called the Renters into Loan System. And if you truly want to grow your production and you truly want to enjoy your life and you truly want to have enjoyable income, okay, my kids used to miss me because I was literally working. And my wife used to say to me, hey, I know your butt's at the table, but you're texting. You're not with us mentally. So, you know, there is a better way. And you already know I'm putting my money where my mouth is. So, who's this for? If you're an ethical loan officer, whether you're seasoned or brand spanking new, this will help you get an edge over your competition. If you're tired of chasing business, we all are, and you're tired of working weekends and you're burnt out and you're not earning what you know you're worth and you're absolutely sick and tired of having other people control your income, hey, here you go. Originators looking to finally have predictable and consistent income regardless of rates. Folks, I started in the business in 1986 as a loan officer. I was 85 as a realtor, and rates were 16. So come on. You know rates are going to go up, but you have no idea what to do to generate new deals. But I really want you to be careful here, okay? If you are thinking of leaving the business, I hope this will absolutely change your mind. If you're looking to just swipe ideas and ask for a refund, please don't become part of this. If you don't view your job as a profession, you're just looking for a quick buck, Well, the quick buck days are over, folks. Hate to break that to you. Or if you're looking for a magical pill where you can just hit the easy button, think good things, and money's going to appear, that ain't happening either. You need a systematic approach. And so that's what I'm going to give you here. Literally handed to you on a silver platter, everything that I went over with you, broken down, ready to copy. Some of you may be wondering about compliance. Well, everything's going to be in a format that you can run by your compliance department and have amended any way you see fit. You know, every compliance department looks at things a little bit differently. So everything will be in a format that easily changeable. So you want to head over to rentersintoloans.com, and I'm going to put the offer right in the chat box for you right now. You want to head over to rentersintoloans.com/special. You want to do that right now, and I'll go over the rest of the program with you. Okay? So you're going to get actual training on every single step of this process, literally every step. So you're going to get that. Then you're going to get a PDF and a Word doc so that you can implement every piece of the process. And then you're going to have access to me personally if you have any questions. So that's how I learn best. And I'm hoping that's how you learn best. But remember, don't believe anything I say. Look what others just like you and I have had to say. So Mark Savage changed his business by about $40,000 a month, folks. 40,000. I'm not making any income claims here. Just telling you what he said. He was Mark's Platinum member, and his marketing is now generating because of what he's learned. Let's talk about more people. Does it work in other places? Brian Saviano in Chicago. I put off learning from Brian, but it cost because it seemed high, but not listening to him, I wasted thousands of dollars. So here's another one. Leon Wilkowski, he made over $100,000 just from one strategy, and he's right here in Maryland like I am. Karen Robinson in Detroit. I thought about not doing this, but it was well worth the investment. Cameron Moss in Indiana. He's closing fewer loans and making more money. How about this? Joe Gross in New Jersey. Okay? My God, look at this. He has slashed his marketing expense by 90%. So I see some of you have already joined. I can't thank you enough. I'm so excited to be working with you and sharing this with you because it truly gives me joy to see other of my peers succeeding and shortening the learning curve so you can have a quality of life. So in the way it's broken down, I'm going to go very deep in Module 1 and who to mail to and when to mail to them, because when to mail is really, really important. And I'm going to give you the system overview again, along with 3 items that actually gets these buyers sold on using you. So when they actually call you, you're already done. We're going to talk about which color schemes work, how to increase your response. I'm going to share with you a secret that McDonald's uses. And I see Bob, Joan, Tom, thank you all. You've just joined. You will immediately see that welcome video. I'm thrilled that you're here. And I hope many more of you will decide to pull the trigger as well and really use this. That will change your life. I'm also going to give you 14 copy and paste templates that work right now. How do I know they work? Because I'm using them. And here is that $1 million one, folks. It really is that simple. All you're going to have to do is put your name on your website, your customer capture. So Tim is asking who creates the postcards. Well, I'm giving you the postcard. All you have to do is add your information to it. 14 templates right there for you, not guesswork, ones that are actually working right now. And then in Module 2, we're going to talk about, if you put a gun to my head, folks, and you said to me, create a website you'd have to kill me because I have no idea how. But I'm going to give you resources that will actually create it for you, some of them for $2 or $3. I'm going to show you how to get instant access to uh, these people, and I'm going to show you how to get instant credibility. We also have a done for you option if that's something you're interested in. So you want to head over to rentersintoloans.com / special because right now we're offering all this at $100 off our normal price. If you go to rentersintoloans.com, you'll see we offer this for $497 all day long. Okay. In module 3, we're going to talk about that free report. I'm going to show you a tool that automates all of it that costs less than $20 a month. So here's the thing. You need absolutely zero technical ability. If you can copy and paste, this whole system works. Okay. Module 4, I'm going to show you how to set it and forget it, how to create these follow-up sequences, the psychology that I've used. And again, you are going to be able to copy and paste these and use them immediately. Your follow-up is going to be, and be honest, you stink at follow-up. All of us do. Okay? So are you all seeing it in your room? The Renters into Loan system and the link. Can you let me know if you're all seeing that? Okay. So never be guilty of not following up again. There's really no reason for it. Okay. And then I'm going to give you not only these tested scripts that I showed you today, but I'm going to give you even more scripts. I'm going to give you even more tools. I'm going to give you the secrets and scripts for converting these prospects once they call you. I'm going to show you that what's holding you back is really avoidable and how to fix it. And I'm going to give you the tested and proven scripts that really turn these realtors into true partners. We've already talked about who to go after, but we're going to go even further. Okay? So I hope this is all making sense. All right. So I'm going to give you some special bonuses. These are only for this training. These are special bonuses. I've prepared the slides for a first-time buyer. So if you're truly serious and if you truly want to, make this happen. Oh, I want to welcome Christian. I want to welcome Richard. Thank you all so much for your trust. I can't wait to see you in the members area. So let's get back to this. I'm going to give you a recording and a transcript of me delivering this presentation so that you can listen and have the psychologically proven formula before you even present it. I'm going to give you the actual ads and the done for you emails if you want to do this yourself or if you want to do this in conjunction with a realtor. I'm actually going to give you, once you join as a gold member, you don't even have to do you never have to buy a list with this system. But I'll actually have my staff get the apartment complexes put in an Excel spreadsheet for you. Okay? It doesn't get better than that, and it doesn't get easier than that. But most importantly, I'm going to give you my own personal time. If you're serious enough to invest in this program, this systematic way of generating new business, I'm actually going to give you one-on-one time with me if you're one of the first 25 action takers to take action right now. And right in the members area, you'll be able to schedule a one-on-one with me. I'm actually going to give you 2 additional reports, and I'm going to give you this $1 million postcard. So I see we've got 4 or 5 new members just now. I thank you. I welcome you. Tom, we've got a lot of Toms for some reason. Joan, I see Bruce. I see Christian. So welcome aboard. Also, I originate every day and I am continually experimenting. So I'm going to give you lifetime upgrades. Anytime I change something, I'm going to give it to you. So remember, You're going to get a video. You're going to get a PDF so that you can implement it. The video explains exactly in great detail every step of that formula. You're going to have the PDF that actually gives you everything so you can run it by compliance, so that all you literally have to do is put your name on it. Okay? Copy and paste, and you're going to have access to me. Here's Denise. She's in New Jersey, and Denise was able to grow her production and make some realtor contacts. So think about this. How much is one loan worth? So let's just say you got 3 loans in a year, right? And let's say there were $200,000 loans, and you were earning 100 basis points, so you made 6,000. Well, I mean, really think about it. How much are 3 new realtor relationships worth that you absolutely can control? How much is it worth for you to control your income, to not have to work weekends, to not have to kiss butt, to not have to beg at open houses, to not have to spend extortion money? Think about it, okay? Just what if you only got 3 loans? So, here's Steve again. You saw his testimonial. Think about this. You never have to hear what's your rate, or I'm checking rates with 3 other lenders, or I handed out 3 other cards. I promise you, when you control the realtor relationship, they ain't giving out 3 more cards. What's it worth for you to have a predictable and consistent income? What's it worth to be respected by your peers at work and to have referral sources? What's it worth to take time off and be able to spend quality time without worrying? Really. So go there right now. I want to see you in the member area. I see that we've got so far 23 of you that have joined. I'm so excited to work with each and every one of you. You want to go to rentersintoloans.com/special. Do it right now. I'm taking down this replay. I'm taking down this page. And I'm not even sure, honestly, if I'm even going to offer it anymore. I may not. But if you want these bonuses and you want to save $100, hey, $100 is $100, right? But I also want to tell you that I respect how hard you work, and I know that many of you have concerns. So I'm going to give you something that's more than fair. I'm going to give you a 30-day unconditional guarantee. Take this for a 30-day test drive, and if for any reason or no reason you want your money back, your investment, I will give you absolutely every penny. Here it is. You have it recorded. Here it is. You have it in writing. No hoops, no questions, no hassles. Is that fair? Let me know if that's fair. I have members that use this with banks, with mortgage companies, with mortgage brokers, with mortgage bankers. So I'm also going to give you a double bonus, okay? Take it for a full year. Try it for a full year. And if at the end of the year you show me what you did and it doesn't work for you, I'll either get on the phone with you and help you make it work, or I will give you double your money back because I've had your money all year. So you've got 30 days, no hoops, no hassles, no questions, okay? Everything, every part of that formula, folks, is in the system. All of your questions about hosting, all the tools, resources, literally everything is in the system ready for you to use, okay? Excuse me. I've told you I'm the most non-technical person you'll ever meet. So I'm going to answer some questions, but I want to make sure that you have absolutely zero risk, okay? Less than no risk. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to go to rentersintoloans.com special right now, okay? And when you're there, I want you to choose which option is best for you. You can make your investment one time, or you can spread it over 2 months. What does that mean? That means you can actually start making money with the program before you've even finished paying for it. And there it is, that guarantee in writing again. You're then going to go to the secure checkout page. You will put in your information. Do it now, folks, so that you can take advantage of these fast action bonuses. This is what the member area looks like. You're going to see unannounced bonuses here. You're going to see all of the various modules. And if you look here, right, so you will see everything is in a Word doc or a PDF or slide or all of those ways so that you can instantly copy it. At the top, we have a option if you don't want to deal with it. We will do everything for you except printing and mailing the postcards. You will see the gold member area where you can order your apartment complex. You will see an area for one-on-one support where we'll get on the phone and help you. Can't be fairer than this, okay? If you act now, you're going to get the renter secret report, but I'm going to give you 2 additional reports and the $1 million postcard. What are they worth? I have a price here of $300, but really, those are priceless. How will you know if you got them? Because they will be right in your member area, right here in the unannounced bonuses section. Okay, so I'm going to stay on here. We're at the top of the hour. I'm going to stay on here. I want you to head over to rentersintoloans.com/special. I'll take a couple questions. So here's some questions. Why are you sharing this if it works so well? Well, again, I only market in 2 or 3 zip codes in Maryland. That's scarcity thinking. I can only deal with 15 to 20 loans. Do you print the postcards? No, we give you the postcards in a format where you literally only have to put your name on it, copy and paste. What if my compliance department doesn't like it? Well, everything is in a format where your compliance department can change it. It's in a Word doc. So, that's really up to you. What if I'm not techie? Well, I'm not techie. So, it's fine. I'm going to give you the resources. I'm going to give you the sample, and I'm going to give you resources where you can have it all built for you for, people that do it for 15, 20 bucks. Are there any outstanding hurdles getting the postcards in the apartment mailboxes? No, they are mailed at postcard rate USPS. Can I take the deal in about a month or so when I pass my test? Honestly, no, you cannot, because I'm not sure it'll be available then. Do you think HTML works better than text? Well, you can send it as an HTML or a text. It doesn't really matter. Most of the resources I'm going to recommend, have that for you. What do you recommend as a monthly budget? Well, preferably I would mail to 1,000 people once a month, same 1,000 people over and over, okay? But you can mail every other month. It costs about 40 to 50 cents to get a postcard in the mail. Do you recommend every door direct mail? Absolutely not. I don't recommend every door mail because we want to mail to a specific group, a specific complex that has rental in the same amount as our, average loan amount. So someone is saying, is that redlining? I don't believe it's redlining, but I'm not an attorney. So you absolutely do not want to do every door direct mail. Here's some additional questions. How do I know if I got the fast action bonuses? Well, you're going to know because the bonuses are going to be right at the top in the room, as I mentioned. When you go to the member area, and here's another question. Do I have to buy a list? No, you do not. When you're a gold member, you pick the complex. We'll even give you the list. Okay, you send in the apartment order form. We'll give you the list, and we suggest starting with 500 to 1,000. Let's see. Here's a couple more. How do I address the envelopes? Well, I cover that in that module. I'm not going to give it away here. If you're a member, how you address it is very, very specific. I cover it in the member area. I'm not going to cover it here. I think I've shared a lot of information with everybody. But for those of you that are serious, I'm thrilled to be working with you, and you will learn that in that module. But the beauty is you now have a list that you can market to for the rest of your career, for the rest of your life, as long as that apartment complex is still there. So, any other questions? Type it in the chat box. I'm going to stay around for another maybe 5 minutes. I see now that we have Tony and Drew and Lisa. So I can't tell you how thrilled I am, folks. This literally is everything for you, soup to nuts. In terms of hosting and opt-in, I give you the resources. It's less than $20 a month. So again, the guarantee, take this for a test drive. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I mean, really, who have you ever heard guarantee a free training? Okay. How about printing the postcards? Well, you can print the postcards. And I show you, actually, you don't have to take it to a printer. You can go to Staple, and I'm showing you in this training exactly how I did it. Remember, I had no money and no time to waste, folks. If you have a printer, you can get started with this right away. Okay, so let's see. My training program does not pay me enough to take advantage of the deal. Well, I got to be honest. I'm going to be a little bit harsh. Folks, this is a career. If you can't invest in your own career, maybe you ought to reconsider it. If what you're doing now isn't working, well, here's something that's tested and proven and guaranteed. So, this isn't a get rich quick scheme. If you're going to be investing hundreds and maybe thousands in co-marketing or Zillow ads, I mean, my God, I'm giving you the ability to test drive this for a full 12 months. I got to be honest, this is probably in the right program for you. So, you keep doing what you're doing, and I hope it works out for you. And if that sounds harsh, I'm really sorry, but that's how I feel. So you're getting what works right now. And so I'm going to end this. I really hope you've enjoyed this. I hope whether you invested in the program or not, that you've gotten some good takeaways that you can actually use. And I wish you all much success. And for the 28 of you that are now members, I can't wait to start working with you. Dig in, get started, start using this because, folks, this works and it is a game changer. This is not going to be up very long. And the way you know that you got the bonuses, those fast actors, is you will see the gold bonuses at the top, and you will see unannounced bonuses in the members area. So I thank you all for your time. God bless you. I wish you all the best of luck, and thank you again for being here.